What's happening, sports fans? After a quick summer break, we welcome you back. Or if you're a new listener or viewer, we welcome you to this season, the 24-25 San Diego Prep Insider season. This guy is an exciting person for us to have joining us for the start of the season. I'm a little rusty. It's spring training. It's training camp for all of us. But Jared Martin is here with us. He is a little bit of everything for the Central Union football team. Technically, you prefer to be identified as a linebacker, defensive player, but I'm sure that you will score some touchdowns, maybe play on some special teams. I would assume that coach has you doing something with the Gatorade before or after the game kind of thing. He does a lot of everything for them. He's going to go play football at TCU in college. So we're going to talk about a whole lot today. So let's start, though, right there with the Horned Frogs. They are a team that we have seen in a national championship game recently. So this is not, I mean, look, hey, all commitments are special. We NAIA to the top of Division One. We celebrate everyone that's going out. But to go from San Diego to playing football in Texas, you got to be pretty good at your job. So what was that process like? What was that decision for you?
It was a really big decision for me, especially like you said, being from down here in El Centro. Like you said earlier, it's really hot here, and just like finding somewhere that I could call home. Me and my family. A lot of what Texas is a lot of what me and my family are. My family, if my family could get up and move to Texas right now, they would. So just me being able to go and build a relationship with those coaches and be able to play at a high level of football and just made me feel wanted, especially their whole staff, especially Coach Avalos and the defensive staff. They just made me feel wanted and maybe believe in myself to where I could play at the next level, at a high level.
You a lot to get to there, but you say your family is very Texas. Are we talking about you guys all walk around with cowboy hats on saying howdy y'all, or is this more of just football mindset? What do you mean by that?
So basically, like we're very just like we're a very red family. Just like a lot of the beliefs that we have are based a lot of things that Texans people believe. We also believe. My dad is one to walk around with cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. He won't be saying yeehaw, but he'll definitely be walking around. Same with my older brother. Just like all the good stuff that you think of Texas. We like to embrace that here in California too.
So can we get when you maybe get a sack this year? Can we get like a little rodeo celebration or something like a little tip of an imaginary cap or something like that as one of your sack celebrations? Just maybe.
Hey, I can't guarantee anything, but that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
So was TCU just like was that a dream school? Or was that always the goal, or how did you even arrive at the Horned Frogs? I know you said that they showed you love, they made you feel like family, but how did you even get there initially?
My coach has a really good relationship with the defensive coordinator there, and he also is the one who offered me from Boise State because he was the head coach at Boise State, and he had offered me from Boise. He had offered me from Boise State, so he had been looking at me ever since my freshman year because my head coach was like, "Hey, like this kid, like like he's kind of small right now, but he's gonna grow into a bigger, better player." That was when I was a freshman, and and like he kind of kept his eye on me from the like from a distance. But as soon as my sophomore year hit, that was when I kind of blew up and everything started kind of like the ball got rolling. And just like I was able to build that relationship with him at Boise, and then when he moved over to TCU, it was just like wow, like that's perfect. Like especially me as a Christian going to a Christian university, like that's also a big deal. Especially going into this, honestly, I didn't. This is my this is my fourth year playing football. I was like I'm not seeing. I'll never have. I never had a dream school growing up. I never had like oh like if this school offered me like I would go there. It's because like well I thought I was gonna play baseball my entire life. So that was always like that was always a shocker to me. How big football got, but I just fell in love with the game, and that's why after all this like after after all that happened my sophomore year, junior year, like finding TCU and just everything kind of lined up. So
Well, so then I mean, what really has this process been like for you? Because you like, how did you even decide on football? Was this just like, okay, freshman football, like let's do it with friends, or how did like this obviously has changed your whole life? How did you
mhm.
even arrive at strapping up the pads for the first time?
So I always knew I was gonna play football. I always because I went to a private school where there was no sports, so I was able to play like travel baseball, travel basketball, but there's not really travel football. Like there's not like there's like your leagues, like like your little like Mighty Might leagues and
Yeah,
stuff like
youth,
that.
yeah, youth sports is
Yeah,
not as
sports,
universal for football.
but that wasn't really a big thing for me. I was always stuck on baseball. My dad played semi-pro. My uncle played semi-pro. I have two other uncles who played pro. Baseball is just has always been a big thing in my family, and that's honestly a sport that I'm really good. Like I'm really good at baseball, and it's like it kind of comes second nature to me. But my dad told me my freshman year, because I didn't want to play football. I was like, you know what, like this isn't for me. Like I'm just gonna play baseball or basketball. I'm just trying to stick it out with those two. And he's like, nah, you're gonna play football. Like you're gonna play some, you're gonna just try it out for 1 year. And my freshman year, I was able to work my way up onto the varsity squad, not starting, but I was able to be up there. And then a few games at the end of the season, I was able to start and just playing in a few of those playoff games against Scripps Ranch and Otay Ranch, and just playing against those guys like as a freshman really kind of opened my eyes, and got to see the brotherhood of football. And that's when my summer of my freshman year, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this really seriously. And then my sophomore year happened, and then football just kind of just got rolling.
Okay, so this is a slight distraction off topic, but it's kind of on topic at the same time, folks. We talk a lot about multi-sport athletes and all that kind of stuff. I just want to run you through. He talks about baseball as his thing, lifetime 370 hitter over your high school career. That's pretty solid. At least one home run every season. So baseball, definitely another one of the sports that you probably could have gone at, but 20 points per game in basketball as well, man. It's not a bad high school career. But, so football ends up becoming this big predominant thing. Obviously, like you said, it wasn't something that you got forced into or it snuck up on you. Like you knew you wanted to play football, but with it not being something that you were like, okay, freshman year, I'm going to get to this. Sophomore year, then we hit this milestone. Junior year, you had a much more impromptu sort of kind of coming at you really fast recruiting process. What's maybe some advice that you would give for kids out there who do find themselves in this situation where, hey, I never really had my mind set on like going to camps my sophomore year, doing this by junior year, and then I get that offer from USC, but like just being open to it all. What would be some advice that you'd give to kids going through the process?
Honestly, for me, the biggest thing that I would say helped me in this process is to not think about the process. Like if you're someone who has it, like if you know that, hey, like I'm this height, I know I'm fast, I know I can play, like just work on your ability to play. Like colleges will come and find you. Like it doesn't matter what school you're at, it doesn't matter where you're from. Like you would I tell people I'm from a central, they're like, where's that at again, like where, like like it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what high school you go to. If you're balling out, you're balling out. If you're working hard, like your hard work will pay off. That's something that I would say kind of helped me, because I was never told, oh, like you're working out because you're trying to get an offer from USC or Penn State or from TCU. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those things, like were never told to me. I was just like, well, I'm just working out because I want to win. Like I want to be good at my sport. I want to do this for my community, for my family. Like I want to, like, and that's just kind of what led to all the good things happening. It's just kind of just trusting that process of things, and just really working hard, and not like, oh, because a lot of kids overthink. They're like, oh, like I don't have any offers my junior year, or I don't have any offer my sophomore, like I don't got colleges looking at me. And that's just putting more stress on you, that you already have a lot of stress on you already at playing a high school sport. Like you're already playing in front of like thousands of people. Usually like a high school stadium gets pretty packed if you're a big school or a decent sized school. And just honestly, like that's not needed, like these like kids are 16, 17, even sometimes 15 years old, who get thrown into this mess. And a lot of times they just need to just like remember that it's a game, and like if you want to get better, like you got to get better at the game for the colleges to come. And that's like the first step, is to actually put the work in. So that would be my advice to any upcoming, like any upcoming athletes. Just like focus on your ability to play the game first. Don't worry about all that other stuff, because if you're good, they're gonna come for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say 20 sacks also helps. Getting
Yeah.
20 career sacks, it really, really helps. But I actually respect that what you're saying is like there's enough pressure on just getting those 20 sacks to focus on that, and the rest will take care of itself. You talk about people coming out to support big crowds. You are technically in the San Diego section, but I would say that you guys in the valley with you Brawley, Calexico, Imperial, you live in a little bit of a different sort of vibe than the rest of the San Diego section because middle of town here, there's a ton of options on a Friday night. You get people
Mm-hmm.
going in all directions. You guys get a little actual slice of like small town Americana. And specifically, I want to ask you, like, what is the experience of the Bell game? Because I have had my eyes open to this is the truest, purest form of like people actually care about this rivalry beyond just like the parents of the players and the kids
Mm-hmm.
that are in ASB. Like there's just a genuine caring about it. It shuts the town down, fills the stands, the bands, like everything is goose. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now. What is the experience of the Bell game been like for you and for people that have not ever experienced it? What just even really is it like to have a community care like that?
It's honestly, it's probably the greatest feeling I've ever like. That right there, the Bell game is probably one of the reasons why I wanted to choose football. Just playing in it, I was able to play in it my freshman year at Central, and I remember there was a point to where the crowds were going back and forth. The stands were so I couldn't. The guy was 2 feet next to me. He was talking to me like yelling at me. I couldn't hear him. Like I couldn't hear. Like it was so loud in the and we're not like we don't have a big stadium. We're like it's like there was just so many people and so like you said, so many people care about the Bell game to where it's like it's almost like you have to make that play. It's not like oh like and it doesn't put pressure on you, but it's like I'm doing this not just for myself or for my teammates or even for my coaches, not even for my like the students at my school. I'm doing this for my entire community, like my entire city, and that's just like that always helps when you're like when it's 4th and 1 or when they're on the goal line or just like when we need that touchdown, like just all those little things, like those little things that you're like, how did they score there or how did they stop them? It's like those are the things that help you get there, because you remember that this is not like my coach always tells us that you're never playing for yourself when you come to play for Central. You're always playing for something bigger than yourself, and that's always something that always keeps you humble, but also makes you like remember during those moments, like, hey, like I got to step it up in these big moments because I'm also if I don't, also letting my teammates, my coaches, my student body, but also my community down. And losing one sucks. I've lost one. I'm 2-1, and losing one my freshman year, we heard it for 364 days. We heard it for 364 days out of the whole until the next one. We heard it every single day. I had to live for it a whole year, and it sucks. It was a long year, but also it's also like it gives you that chip on your shoulder for the next year. Like all right, like like that's what gave us that ability to go win it my sophomore year. Just because like we don't want to have that feeling again. It's a terrible feeling, especially for the seniors, like who don't get another opportunity to play.
Well, so you get to play at Brawley this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, what's the better win, at home or at Brawley?
I personally like being the villain. I like winning away. I love winning. I love away games. Like it's cool being the hero at home. It's cool, you get to celebrate with your family and everything. But there's nothing like the away atmosphere and just playing like when nobody likes you on the other side. You know that everybody's rooting for you to lose, and you still win. Like that feeling it's unmatched. It's unmatched.
My man. Look, sometimes about an athlete. And this is like we read off all the stats, so you thought you knew, but now you know. Like there's a
Yeah.
reason the guy's a killer right now. Is he loved? I it's a weird science of measuring. You're right, like that. You love winning at home in front of everybody, but taking it away from the opposing team is just it's so good. Um, I wanted to get to coach because you talked about him and he's done so much good for so many people. I want to talk about him in just a second, but I am kind of curious with how well attended and supported these games get and all of your home games. Do you ever show up to some of the bigger schools on your program? And I'm not going to name names because I don't want this to be like a specific call out, but do you ever go on road games, maybe in the playoffs or something like that, and be like, aren't you guys a big school? Where is everybody?
Not to, like I said, like
Like, we're
not to
not taking shots specifically at any team, but like, do you ever get that feeling where you're like, why don't like it's Friday night? Where is everyone? Why, like that's all
yeah,
your ASB can turn out? Like,
think, yes. like, because that's what we're used to, you know, like we're used to when we play, it's like both stands are packed, like it's blue on both sides, like even if like if the away team is there, but like the thing about our stadium, that another thing that makes Central so special is that there's no track, like there's no track between our field and our stands, so our fans are right on top of us, so it's a loud environment to where it's like you feel like you look like you turn around, like my parents are like 5 yards behind me, or like my like everybody's right behind me, you know, so like just that feeling to where it's like it just feels like you just you know that there's a big crowd watching you, and a lot of, and I don't think I've played anywhere else in my career that not hasn't had the track around their field. And so just, and it's like I say, playing away, except at Brawley, like when you play at Brawley, it's loud. But like in when we go to San Diego, sometimes like it's kind of like, yeah, like we're like, where is like where's your guys's like school? Or like if we're looking, like we look and we're like, dude, our crowd, like, and our crowd comes to support us to the San Diego games, to where we have a crowd on the opposite side too. And I don't know. It's just like it's kind of funny, you know, like you said, it's just like you don't know, like it's something that you're not used to, but it's also like, hey, like we'll take any advantage we get. If it's not that loud here, I mean, it's not that loud here. We don't gotta, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I was not meant as a call out towards any specific school,
Yeah,
nor is meant as you trying to be like, hey, we would love an even playing field. But it has to feel kind of weird that like sometimes you roll up to these schools and you're like, oh, they're a big school, couple thousand kids, Friday
yeah,
night, second round of the playoffs. Then you show up and you're like,
yeah. There was a few games last year where I'm like, where is everybody?
I want
I'm
to talk.
like,
You bring up something interesting, the just the physical field itself. And for those who have not seen a game, and I get it's not everybody has seen a game, the entry of the Central football team, we'll repost it onto our Instagram. There's two versions of it. There's the one that I've seen where the band has led the team out onto the CIF championship game, and that was cool specifically. But also they do one with the whole band line, both sides, running out, firework. What is that like? Getting to take the field on a Friday night in front of that experience.
oh my goodness. It's incredible. Um, it's it feels like, you know, like when you see on TV, like when the guys come out of the tunnel, like in college, that's what it feels like. You know, like you got fireworks going off beside you. You got like flame. Like ISB does an amazing job of just getting like Friday nights at Friday night lights at Central. It's a big deal for our you know our school. So they do everything to make it special. You know, and I have to say like I've had some of my favorite moments just running out the tunnel and piling on top of the guys in the middle of the field, just feeling the presence of the band of like just like having the cheer there, the tall flags, you know, all your fans. It's just it's an amazing feeling. I'm truly blessed to be able to play at Central. I feel like there's a lot of schools who don't have that kind of atmosphere, and we do, and it's incredible. It's an amazing feeling. I have to say, if you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. But there's nothing like being there, like in the moment, you know.
Yes, I'm gonna post it, and don't use that as your cop out. Anybody out there to be, oh, I saw it on Instagram, so I don't need to go. Go. It's a
Yeah,
great experience in person.
yeah.
I said I wanted to talk about coach though. So you can never give everybody all the respect they deserve in a 2 minute interview slot. But I think it's always good when you have a coach like him who has been at a school for so long. But you hit it really interestingly, I think, on the head where he imparted upon you. It's not about you. It's not about just the guy next to you. It's not about the guy who came before you. It's about the totality of all of it. And you don't always get a high school coach who's seems to be about this more than this. Like he's about just he seems to be here to raise great young men up out of situations. What is your time with Coach been like? What are some maybe funny stories, or just like what have you taken away from all of your time with him?
Um, me and Coach have a great relationship. Ever since my freshman year, I I love like he's a player's coach to where he keeps his office open every 24/7. Like if he's in there, it's open. You can go and talk to him. He's very personable. He's not like the scary head coach to where you can't talk to him about anything or even just life. Like you can go and talk to him about life, and he has crazy life advice that like he's helped me in a lot of situations to where that's helped me, like you said, become a better young man. And he's helped a lot of people just get out of the place that they were in just because of football. You know, like a lot of like I'm truly fortunate that I'm able to go and better my life because of this sport. But a lot of these people don't move on past high school, especially where I'm from. So the moments that he shares and the teachings that he shares are also life lessons that you can take beyond high school to wherever you go. If it's for college for academics, if you're going to the workforce, raising a family, anything, like he just the way he talks to us, it's so selfless. He's very selfless dude. Um, and just the sacrifices that he makes for us in the daily, like he gets there at 5:30 in the morning every day, like consistently. He's consistent with everything he does. And it's like if we have weights at 6:20, he's there an hour early just in case if anybody wants to show up early and get more work in. Or if we need to come and watch film, he's there in the morning. He's there after school. And he'll let us know, be like, hey, like he lets us know 2-3 days in advance. He's like, hey, I gotta go pick up my kids for something, or oh, I gotta go do this or that. Like, and we're like, hey, coach, like you're good, like you don't gotta, but it's like, that's not something that a head coach would do. The head coach is like, I'm gonna just leave whenever I please. I'm the head coach, but he always makes sure that everybody's taken care for, that the locker room's open. He's just all around, just a great, and this is all outside of football. Like this is all outside of him as a football coach. Like he's a genius as a football coach, but like just as him as a man, like he's really impacted my life, and just like I've had a great relationship and will continue to have a great relationship with Coach Pena.
I love to hear it, man. And I think that there's no better way to say it than just like, yeah, he's an adult who is asking his players permission to be like, is it cool if I sneak a little bit of my life into your lives? All like, can I go pick up my kids? Cool.
Yeah.
Anybody need the weight room? That's the kind of devotion that you just want to give a big Prep Insider shout out to. Jared, thank you so much for joining us, sharing us a little bit of your time. Best of luck this season. We didn't get to any of actually this season because at the time of us recording, it's still a month away. So
Mhm.
we'll get you back on the show once the season's underway and we can hear about, or you know what? Let's table that. Let's get you on for basketball season or something completely out of character. Once you're done with football, we'll get you on for maybe for baseball, for something like that when all is done. But congratulations again, my man, on your accomplishments so far as a Central Union Spartan, on your offer or your acceptance to TCU. We are super proud of you here in the San Diego section. So everybody remember, this is one of the guys you need to watch now. So you say you saw him win when he winds up as an NFL player who wanted to be a baseball player. But until then, we'll say good luck this season and we'll talk to you soon.